Well, at least you escaped hell.
Yeah, now I'm in purgatory.
Which one's worse?
They say purgatory is worse. It's more boring. Because there's nothing there. It's just a fucking black void. At least hell is interesting. There's all kinds of cool people there, you know? Every cool person who ever lived. Bon Scott, Jimi Hendrix, you know? Vlad says he needs a couple minutes.
Okay.
Oh, man. Dude, I'm really sick.
Oh no, your voice sounds different a little bit.
I thought it'd be worse. I wasn't sure how it would go because earlier I was like nauseous and stuff, so I was thinking about canceling, but you know, I think I caught a cold. I got the chills. I got the sore throat. But
When did this start? Did this
we
start?
got it. This started last night.
Oh, okay.
Last night, yeah. You know when you feel it coming on.
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
felt it
for me,
coming on.
it always starts off like I feel like a little something like a funny feeling in my nose. I don't know how to describe it, but it feels like different, and then I get a sore throat, and that's how I know it's coming. I know.
I just feel super like weak. But anyway, so you watched the wrestling this week or what?
Just Collision and Dynamite.
That's all you need to watch, man. We're not gonna really cover the other shit.
All right.
WWE is too slow. It's too slow and convoluted. It's like if I could summarize the story
Mhm.
real quick, I would, but you really can't summarize the story real quick because they're complicated, but they're not even that fucking good or important, you know? Yeah, we're just Collision and Dynamite, man. We'll maybe talk about WWE a little bit, but
Yeah, I don't know anything that happened in WWE.
nothing fucking happened in WWE.
Hello, hello.
Finally.
Finally, the Vlad has returned to the Malapert Smark podcast.
All right, we're back on the air. Glad we started the show. I was telling Robert that I'm sick. I was considering canceling the show tonight, but I'm being like Michael Jordan, and I'm gonna power through.
The show must go
Uh-oh.
on.
Yeah,
You're having like a, for all you know, this could be one of your best performances. It could be like your flu game.
I don't know, man. Well, earlier I was feeling like nauseous, but I think I got a cold. Like I got the chills. I'm nauseated. I want to vomit, but I'm gonna power through. Anyways, welcome back, whoever's listening. Excuse me. We have rebranded the show. I don't know if you noticed, Robert, but there's a new logo. We're not we're not the Malapert Smart Wrestling Podcast anymore. We're just the Malapert Smart Podcast. So,
All right.
yeah, I feel like it was a little sleeker of a name. You know, we're talking about smarks. We know we're talking wrestling. Okay. So, all right, I'm gonna do my best today to get through this show. We got AEW to talk about. We're gonna do Collision and Dynamite like we usually do. We might see if we can get to some WWE at the end, but hopefully not.
Damn, that bad? Wow.
Yeah,
I guess I
this
not how much.
this past because we're recording this on a Friday, so on Wednesday I went out to the bar, Robert, and I got carried away with myself. So Thursday I had to do the whole day like hungover at work, like real bad, and that's when my cold started coming on because I guess I pushed myself too far with the tequila. So then I'm trying to sleep it off when I get home. Like, you know, you made it through work, you survived. And I had Impact Wrestling on and Ring of Honor on Thursdays. And then I'm trying to sleep and I get a call from some chick that wants to come over. And I'm like, oh my God, not a good time. Not a good time. But how can I say no? You can't say no. So I'm like, all right, come over. So I was up all night. And then I slept throughout the day today trying to feel better. Yeah.
This guy with his first-rate problems. He has chicks wanting to call and come to his house in the middle of the night, and he's complaining.
But Vlad,
Hey,
you would say no. You'd be like, no, I got work tomorrow, or it's too late. I'm tired already. I'm not gonna perform well, you know.
It depends. Every situation. I mean, there could be a time I just said that, but there could be a time I probably would say what you just said. Yeah, baby, come on over.
I really should have got the
But
sleep.
yes. Well,
But anyways,
and I just also want to say real quick, if anyone has a problem with me eating, they can stick it up their ass. I just want to say that right now.
oh, that's true. I told that guy, that Salazar guy, whatever, the guy who comments on our videos. Some guy was annoyed that Vlad was eating. I'm like, Vlad can do whatever he wants. He's the wrestling expert. He's actually a wrestling god, to be honest. God.
That's what. That's what Ric Flair would say. He's a wrestling god. I'm a wrestling god.
As far as your knowledge of the business goes and the history of it,
Well,
you're up there, man. You're top 1%er. Expert. All right. So it was your idea. You wanted to talk about the Pro Wrestling Insider Top 500 Wrestlers of the Year, right? And you thought it was a horrible, horrible list. I can pull it up for you right now.
well, no.
I agree.
Let's see what we
Well,
got
no,
here.
I don't think that the whole thing is horrible. I can't say I know most of these guys at the bottom. Just look at the top. I'm just looking to the top 10 because I got Seth Rollins number 1, Roman Reigns number 2. Now, in what world? First, let's start with that. Is Roman Reigns not number 1? Okay, I don't understand that. Now you could say, oh, he hasn't wrestled as much. Who cares?
So we got
He's
number
made
1, Seth Rollins. Let's just make that clear for the audio
Seth
listeners
Rollins.
who can't see this list that we put up on the screen.
Seth Rollins, yes.
Seth Rollins number 1 and Roman Reigns number 2. So immediately that seems weird because everyone's been it's critical acclaim for Roman. But I don't know if this is about in-ring work or total. You know, I don't really know what this list.
I believe it's a combination of things. I forgot what I should have had this prepared, but I forgot what they look into. But it's still, in no world can you convince me that Seth Rollins had
so Roman's number 2, and then Moxley
number
3.
Moxley, I mean, I really despise Mox. I know you guys know this. So, I mean, but at least I kind of understand it. He's a big name. But, I mean, if you want my honest opinion, I thought more of John Moxley way more when he was in WWE. I thought he was a lot better as Dean Ambrose than John Moxley. As John Moxley, he just does the stupidest stuff that comes into his head and he just gets to do it. That makes no sense.
And the same thing every time, kind of. His matches are
time.
all very similar, and they do a lot of them. He's in a lot of matches.
But at least I will say that he is a big name in the wrestling business. I can't deny that. But top 3, questionable, but at least somewhat understandable.
So then number 4 is Gunther, but I think a lot of people can't really disagree with that one. That's really...
No,
I'm not mad at that. No, I'm not mad at that.
not at all. Not at all. I'm not mad at Gunther's on the list. I'm mad at the next name.
Yeah, the next name is probably the most ridiculous of the bunch. Is El Hijo del Vikingo, but he's ahead of MJF at number 6.
That is the most insane thing I've seen on any wrestling list of all time. I mean, look, I know somebody's going to say, well, Vlad, you don't watch AAA. You don't know how good this guy is. I understand, but I kind of got the picture based on what he does in AEW, and if anybody thinks in their right mind that this guy is somehow a more valuable or better wrestler, or whatever way you want to calculate it, a wrestler, then MJF, by the way, should be higher on the list, should probably be in the top 2 to top 3 list at minimum. I mean, yeah, he should at least be a top 3.
Vlad, let me round out the top 10, and then I'll ask you if you made a list for us. Since you're the expert, you give us the real list.
Hey, I made a top 5.
Yeah, that's good enough. That's good enough. So MJF, Okada's number 7. I guess he hasn't. It's not really his prime, but I don't know what's going on over there in New Japan. So he's still been working. Orange Cassidy, number 8. So that's another one that I know Vlad is going to be ridiculing.
Yeah, same here. Me too. I don't want him in the top 10.
Josh Alexander, I guess you can't really talk too badly about that one. He's pretty good. He's just an Impact, though.
I can't because I don't know what he's doing over there. I can't really say.
And then Cody Rhodes completes the top 10. He's number 10. So,
My God. Oh, wow.
How
Vlad?
can that even be? How can that be? I mean, how could they even make such a thing?
well, this
And
list
put
is
it
so
out there?
ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. But the one thing I will say about El Hijo del Vikingo, I'm
Yeah,
trying
because
to.
that's the big one, right? That's like everything else you could kind of maybe make a case for. Like I know Kayhan is a big Orange Cassidy mark, even if it's a work. If he doesn't believe what he's saying, he's at least I understand it. He's being pushed in a top company. He's always on TV. He had that streak where he won 32 matches or whatever the hell that was. Okay, obviously it's all nonsense, but still you could make a case. But
Well, the thing I'll say, the reason I think he came up on this list is I'm just trying to guess. I'm just trying to just guess what's in these people's mind. But I think if you see him live, it's probably different. Like if you just see him in person, people are probably really freaked out. Like, holy fuck, this guy's flipping all over the place. His flips are very impressive, you gotta say.
Sure.
As a live attraction, maybe not as a wrestler, but just as a live attraction, like I don't want to say carnival attraction, but
he's 5 foot tall. He's like circus act in every possible way. I agree that he can make the flips like nobody's business. He flips every match. Like he flips and then he does another
very
flip.
high risk, difficult flips too. Like flips that, dude, if they're a fucking inch off, this guy's gonna fall on his head. He's an expert flipper, man. He's probably the best one. So that alone warrants him being in the top 5. No, I'm kidding.
Stop right there. No,
That's all right, Vlad. Well, let's hear your top 5 then. Let's start with you, and then we'll go to Robert after that.
All right. Well, top 5 is pretty easy. I mean, I could have done a top 10, but I think number 1 has to be Roman. Based on all his success as the champion, main eventing all the main shows that they've had, being so over, everybody pretty much being invested in this whole bloodline stuff, and him being as a champion has been great. Number 2, MJF. I mean, I think that's a no-brainer. I think. Well, you could make a case for Cody, but I'm going to say MJF too, just because he's such an amazing and I think what also works in MJF's favor is that he's so young. I think
MJF has been top class.
Yeah.
I might have arguments with you, but go ahead to your number 3.
I think 3 is Cody. I think Cody has been great pretty much since he came back from his surgery, right? Prior to him leaving, when he was, coming back, and then when he came back, he's been awesome. I think Gunther at number 4 is fine. And I think that's where they put him is actually, I think, exactly where he needs to be. He's the only one on the list that's exactly probably where he needs to be. And 5, this is a tough one. I think you could go a number of different people. I had 5 could go either Seth, CM Punk, or Sami Zayn. Either one would be fine. I guess if you put a gun to my head, personally, I'd put Sami Zayn, but I would understand if somebody put Seth as well.
All right,
So I put those at the top 5. And mostly WWE guys, as you can tell. Punk obviously was an AEW guy if he had made it, but majority of the guys I would probably put are WWE guys, except maybe like, as far as further down the list, maybe there would be like Samoa Joe would be there, Danielson would be there. They'd probably complete the top 10. Yeah. Also, I just want to make a case that I think Dirty Dom should be there, at least potentially not top 5 maybe, but maybe top 10. Because if they can put Orange Cassidy, if they could put Orange Cassidy as 8, I could definitely put Dominic Mysterio at least in the top 10. So that's all I got.
All right, Robert. I want to hear Robert's, so let's hear it.
Okay. So I put Roman Reigns as number 1. I considered MJF possibly number 1 also just because he was a little bit more active, and he always killed it, like whatever matches he was part of, or like angles that he always killed it. So he was a little bit more active, but Roman Reigns was involved in more, I guess, impactful storylines and matches. Like he was part of more big matches. So I put Roman Reigns over MJF. But to me, it was close. But yeah, Roman Reigns 1, MJF 2. All right, number 3, I actually put Sami Zayn because for me the bloodline story, the bloodline angle was already good before he became a part of it, but he was the catalyst that made it like really explode, and it became like must-see television for me. I couldn't wait to see what happens next. When he was part of it, it was so like intriguing. I kind of missed the Sami Zayn bloodline era.
Yeah, agreed.
I can't disagree too much with that.
Cody Rhodes I put as number 4. The reason why I put him under Sami Zayn, I put Sami 3 and Cody 4 is just because for me personally, his feud with Brock Lesnar personally for me dragged a bit. Like it went on a little too long. I think he could have that feud could have ended a little bit earlier, and he could have moved on to a different feud. If that happened, and if that other feud, whatever he moved on to, was interesting enough, I think I would have put him number 3. But as it is right now, I have him at 4. Number 5, I was debating between either Gunther or Bryan Danielson, but I ended up choosing Gunther just because Danielson, there were times that he was out with injuries and wasn't as active as Gunther, and then Gunther had this really long reign as the Intercontinental Champion. So I went with Gunther to round out my top 5.
All right, here's my list. So I have some discrepancies with you guys. My number 1 is MJF by a mile, by miles. Just because he works,
agree to disagree with that. But
he works more. He's spot on. Even the work in the ring is so perfect. In AEW, which is amazing, he sets himself so apart. He's like a top class WWE wrestler in AEW. My number 2 is Roman. Okay. Number 3, I got Cody Rhodes. Just solid work. Even though the storyline angles have been dragging. Like Robert said, just too many distractions with not really important things. But his work is amazing. He's been the top babyface in the company. He's carrying the show pretty much. And number 4 is Christian. So I think he's had a great year, one of his best years. Really, he's just going for the jugular.
Where was he on this list? Where was he on this list?
I don't know. Let me see.
Be on it?
He's not on the top 25 because I only have the top 25 here. Sami Zayn is number 22. I don't know. We'd have to look at the list. But anyways, and then my number 5 is Gunther.
Yeah, go ahead.
So
I see. Yeah, that makes sense.
A little bit different. I put Christian in there. I mean, Sami Zayn and Dominic Mysterio is probably my 6 and 7, but I didn't squeeze them into my top 5. Well, anyways,
it's just a crazy list. It's just crazy. It's just nuts. I think that my point is, I understand that this is all like not fan based, but somebody makes these picks. And I used to think that like Dave Meltzer had the worst picks and whatnot, but this puts a run for its money too. This is really bad. This is just no good.
Well, the one thing you can't say about whoever was involved in making this list is that they watch a lot of wrestling more than us. We're not watching New Japan or AAA, so maybe they got something on us. I'm not going to say that it's impossible. Yeah, I don't know where it's a different style. People like different styles of wrestling. So if you're into
I understand that.
So
I understand all that.
Orange Cassidy style, the high flying Lucha Libre style, I guess. It's got a lot of fans. So I can't find Christian anywhere on this list. I'm going down there.
Damn.
I couldn't find him in the first 100, which is insane.
That's crazy.
All right.
Crazy.
Whatever.
Crazy.
Okay, stupid list.
That makes no sense. Like
you wanted to comment on it, Vlad?
Dominic Mysterio was 94th on this list. 94. It's insane.
Well, Dominic had a great match on Raw this week. I don't know if Robert didn't watch it. He faced off against Dragon Lee for the North American title. Stole the show.
Oh, wow.
People called it one of like the throwback to the cruiserweights of WCW. It was really good.
Go, Don.
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen, Vlad. Unless you have anything more to say, you give your 2 cents.
No. I think I've made my point clear. This list is absurd, and these people should all be shot. Continue, Kayhan.
Gosh, that's the booze talking.
None of us put Seth Rollins number 1. Wow, that's shocking.
Oh God, I didn't even have him in my top 5. Honestly, good work, but the gimmick kills it for me.
I think he'd be a top 10. I had him in my top 10, but not top 5. Not
good matches. Because of the gimmick. Always good matches.
Yes. He has to stop with this gimmick. It's so unbearable. I don't know why he's doing it. Like, I've seen him previously in his different. I don't know. I just don't know. I can't understand.
It's like a poor man's Ted DiBiase, kind of. Like, people from the characters from the 80s were able to do that crazy maniacal laugh and make it seem like realistic, like it's from a scary movie or the bad guy in a movie. But when he does it, it seems kind of forced and fake. He's not really that psycho. I don't believe it. So I don't know. I don't know who put him up to that gimmick, but okay. Yeah. Let's move along. We got reviews to do today. In my state of sickness, we got to watch AEW. So let's do it. Collision.
Let's do it.
This is from September 23rd. Robert watched it. So we got someone to make some comments. Let's go through the lineup. We don't have to go through everything in detail. If there's stuff that you just feel like doesn't worth mentioning a comment, we'll just move on. But I'll just go down the list. That's how we do it here. Anybody want to jump in? Just go ahead. Don't wait for me to call on you, because just talk over each other. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
So the first match was Darby Allin. Let's hit play on our video against Christian Cage and Luchasaurus, right? Was this a 3-way?
Yeah.
I don't have written notes, so some of the things you guys might have to remind me.
It was.
So this was the handicap match, basically, and Darby had to somehow survive this without anyone in his corner, try to win. Christian gives away the title, maybe never going to see it again, but the most important thing in the world to him. But Darby started out with throwing, what was that, powder in Luchasaurus' face, flying out of the ring into Christian, again doing these dangerous moves. It was an exciting match. Darby held his own, but in the end, there was some confusion about who should get the belt, right? There was a little bit of a tease, and Darby ended up nailing Luchasaurus, and it's no disqualification 3-way, but he did kick out of this one. So that was the closest I think Darby had to stealing that title away. How did this match end? Coffin drop on Luchasaurus, and then Christian comes in the ring, flings Darby out. That looked fucked up. And then he pins his own guy and wins the TNT title for real. I was kind of surprised at that booking. Yeah. A little bit. I thought they were going to keep going with what they had going, but okay.
In what sense? What did they have going?
Christian not being champion, but thinking, acting like he was champion. Like, I thought they were going to keep that gag rolling for a while. But okay, Now he's really the champion. It kind of takes away from the comedy a little bit, but that's okay, because Christian should be a little serious. He should try to.
Well, I think they want to have this match at WrestleDream, and they couldn't do it with Luchasaurus. That would make sense. They want to have a pretty good pay-per-view quality match with, it's going to be 2 out of 3 falls. It should be it could be the best match of the night based on the card I've seen. So
yeah, Vlad's jumping the gun a little bit, but they did book that later on in the show. Yes. No, that's okay. That's okay.
Well, I just want to explain why it made sense for Christian to be the champion now as opposed to maybe another time. Or it's not at all. Yeah.
All right, so you're cool with that, I guess.
Very cool.
And then they tease a little bit of a dissension between Luchasaurus. He didn't really want to give up the title so badly at the very end. So that might lead to like a little feud between them, a la the Christian Jungle Jack Perry feud. So they could have a little... I'm sure Christian could get a good match out of anybody. So I'm pretty sure that's where it's headed. Just fine, I guess, at some point. Maybe he'll lose the title to Darby at WrestleDream, and then he'll blame Luchasaurus or something. I don't know. Anyways, moving along, we got a lot to get to. Here's Christian celebrating now, being the real TNT champion, gives Luchasaurus a hug. And
I thought at this point, I thought Luchasaurus was gonna drop him. Kind of like what I think Batista did to Randy Orton a long time ago. Remember?
Yeah.
I thought that was gonna happen, but it didn't.
I mean, they're teasing it. It could come at some point, but we'll see. So moving along, Rampage Grand Slam. We didn't see this. We're not reviewing this, but there was some more Don Callis family stuff with Jericho. They were gonna stab him in the eyes, and he was saved by Kenny Omega, and they were gonna team up, I think, for WrestleDream also against some guys from the Don Callis family is what they're looking at. Don Callis here cuts a promo. I don't really remember what he said. Something about killing Ibushi and, Omega, and they're still after them, want to ruin their lives.
Jericho.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, a lot of Don Callis.
Well, I'm not excited about all these 6-man tags. I mean, I liked when it was like one-on-one, but these 6-man tags kind of take me out of it. I don't really have a lot of interest in throwing in Sammy and Jericho involved in this. So, it is what it is, but I can't say I'm not interested in it.
I mean, I'm a little confused about Sammy being in the Don Callis family, I guess. I don't know if it was
weird.
The right move, to be honest. What do you think, Robert?
It's an odd pairing. Him joining the Don Callis family. I don't know. I didn't see that coming. I don't know how that's gonna play out, but I do. I'm with Vlad. I'm not a fan of these like 6-man tag matches, so I'm not really looking forward to that. But
man, that's wrestling, bro. Wrestling is all about 6-man tags. Shit. From all throughout history, not all throughout history. When did 6-man tags start becoming a thing? Like in the 90s? They started doing it a lot.
Well, not just, but AEW overdoes it. Is the point?
Yeah, the Bash at the Beach thing with NWO forming was a 6-man tag. So sometimes it works if you're really planning the storyline well. But yeah, okay.
Sure, it can work.
Probably,
it can work.
It's probably more so the angle's not that interesting.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, well, let's move along. I'm sure we'll see some more Don Callis as time goes along. Here's Christian. He just hears the news from Schiavone that he's going to be facing Darby in a 2 out of 3 falls match. So that should be a great match, actually, for WrestleDream. I would watch that one in its entirety. So I'm excited for that one.
Christian said he did. Just real quick, Christian dedicated the victory to Nick Wayne's mom and his late father. Whew. That guy.
Brutal.
My goodness.
Brutal. Poor Nick Wayne, dude. This guy's gonna end up in the mental hospital from all this bullying.
He's gonna have to go to therapy. after he's done with wrestling.
All right, let's see what we got next. Hook. Yeah. I forgot what this match is. It's Hook and Rob Van Dam as a tag team. So this was a little showcase for Rob Van Dam. They're facing off against the former 2.0. They don't really call them that anymore, but it's Matt Menard and Cool Hand and still hanging out with Anna Jay and Jake Hager. I don't know. They should come up with something new for them. They're still friends, but they're not appreciating Jericho. But okay.
Yeah, they should. But they should. Here's what's something new for them: get them off the TV. That would be the nice thing, new thing for them to do.
Matt Menard is great. I love Matt Menard. He was doing commentary on Dark Elevation back in the day.
Let him go back to commentary on a show that doesn't exist. That's where he should be, talking to people that are on YouTube.
He's got a personality, man. There's people more boring than him. But
okay, let him be a backstage announcer. I don't care. But I don't want to see him wrestling for 15, 20 minutes on the screen.
Yeah, this was a pretty long match, about 9 minutes. But Rob
Van Dam, 9 minutes,
5-star flat frog splash. I mean, funny that Rob Van Dam is involved. I don't know what they got anything planned for him. I mean,
no, they never have anything planned.
He'll probably do jobs. Like Jeff Jarrett's done jobs for everybody since he got there. He hasn't really been given anything, but maybe they got that planned for him, the way they do with Jeff Hardy and stuff. So, okay. They go over Kingston's match with Claudio at Grand Slam, and he's going to be facing Shibata, my guy, at WrestleDream. I'm glad he found his brain. You know, I love Shibata, but I'm not excited about him facing Eddie Kingston.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I'm not a big fan of Kingston's work in the ring. As much as I love his on the mic skills, his matches are just poorly drawn out, and there's too many slaps to the chest, and they don't even look good. So,
Yeah.
okay, but I guess we'll just let him slide because he's depressed. It's okay. Let's not talk too much crap. Let him have his run. He's the Ring of Honor champion. Let him have his fun. All Friends Wrestling, baby. So that's going to be for two belts. Here's a Dark Order segment. They're still going with that. A lot of these collision shows are jam-packed, man. I mean, it's like a lot of not very strong stuff, but there's a lot of stuff. So
yeah.
They're still going along with this.
Shit. With literal shit. Shit that I just took in the morning after I eat breakfast. Not that for shit.
Oh god. All right. Well, we'll get your final grade for the show after this. But there was some good stuff later on.
Yeah.
There's some good stuff later on. Let's move along.
Let's
Okay. So Taven and Bennet, they cut a promo.
Let's don't forget the important thing that we learned from this promo. It's we gotta promote neck health, okay? It's really important. It's really important that we understand how we need to have really strong necks.
And you know what? As you say that, Kayhan knows this. I've been having an issue with my neck, and I've been sending him neck strong text messages for the past week, 2 weeks, saying I probably have a pinched nerve or God knows what in my neck.
That sucks.
He's like. I'm telling him, yeah, man, Roddy's right. You gotta have neck. You gotta be neck strong and have great neck health.
Exactly.
It's important.
This is an extra issue.
Neck health awareness. Yes, this is very important. So
very important.
Thank you for these two.
It's very topical to me, at least.
Well, I'm sorry you've been dealing with that, Vlad, man. It's an extra issue you certainly don't need. I know you got a lot of problems already, but
what's one more added to the pile?
You'll be all right, man. I hope it clears up, but we'll see.
I think I'll be fine.
This is interesting. So Julia Hart's been pushed as a real badass for the past couple weeks. She's actually been winning a lot, dating back to her days on Elevation, but mostly jobbers, racking up some numbers, And she's got this cool look. She's got Brody King coming with her. She's got a really dope theme music entrance. And
True.
I like the hat, the red lights in the hat. It's really cool. She's facing off against Kiera Hogan on this one. If I could move on to some of the stuff in the match. Okay, so here's some of the punches. Well, it doesn't look too bad, She looks she looks pretty fierce. Let's see what else that I bookmarked. I just bookmarked a few highlights. Okay, so she does tap her out in the end. And after the match, she's going to put her submission back on her. So she's real mean, And the house always wins. And Brody King is there to kind of be a distraction sometimes. But Vlad, I think you said you don't really buy this. You're not buying her as this.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm not really buying this only in the sense of, I like the look. I said before that she has a great look. And I don't think but I don't know if she should be used as an in-ring performer. I think she's better being
the valet for the House of Black.
A valet basically. Or a manager. Yeah, being a heel valet / manager type of thing. But actually being in the ring and working, I don't really think she's that great. And I know she's trying and she's working at probably getting better. But I'm not really buying that would be able to just tap out all these people and just beat the hell out of all these people. The look is there, but her size and her lack of wrestling ability kind of hurts the persona,
What about you, Robert? You got any feelings about Julia Hart?
I don't necessarily agree about her. She should be a valet or a manager. She's doing okay as a wrestler. I just think her the fact that she's challenging for the title is way too soon. It's way too soon for that. She needs to put more time in and she needs to be built up a little bit more. It's just the push is happening a little too fast for me.
Man, you guys are crazy. They've been pushing her for fucking months. on Elevation. You guys aren't watching or what?
God. Oh, okay. Oh,
Kayhan.
my bad.
Elevation.
This is
How could
the
they have
time.
been pushing her for months on Elevation? Elevation hasn't been a show for like 3 months already. They're pushing her on a show that doesn't exist.
Well, that's where a lot of her wins came.
Now it all makes sense. Okay, now it makes sense. Because she got pushed in the Elevation.
Kayhan saw one Elevation show 8 months ago, and he's like, they're pushing her to the moon.
Not one, but you know, she's gotten a lot of wins, man. She's racked up a lot of wins. That means something. She deserves a title shot at least. I don't think she's gonna win. She's not gonna win.
So if you win a whole bunch of matches on dark, like or like these quote unquote dark matches,
if you're undefeated, yeah, you deserve a title shot at least. Just a title shot.
You're right.
It's just a title shot. Like.
Oh, I just agree to disagree.
We'll agree to disagree. Exactly. I'm with Robert on this as well. I think we have to agree to disagree.
I don't think she's gonna win, but I think it could be a decent match.
But then what's the point? What's the point of like the push, right? If they're just gonna put her in there, get her beat by Statlander, what's the point of all this?
Well, there's got to be a feud for Statlander. They got to make something for her. So why not Julia Hart? It's just someone to feed to Statlander. I think she's gonna lose. She's not gonna win. Although I would put her over. I think she's awesome. But
I know, we know.
Okay.
she's a badass chick, man. There was this one time when she took a powerbomb through a table and her head landed straight on the floor. I forgot the exact episode.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, she's taking some damage, man. She's not a crybaby. So Sky Blue came out.
She was a crybaby, though.
Sky Blue.
Are you trying? Never mind. I'll let you continue. I'm sorry. Continue.
No, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, is this? Are you trying to show that she's this badass, or that just the fact that everybody that is around her is a damn idiot who let her go through a table head first, so she could bang her head up against whatever she hit the floor or whatever she.
It's impressive that she didn't quit after that. Some girls would be like, "Damn, this is too much," you know. And that could end their career sometimes.
Okay, I mean, I could give her that. You know,
yeah, sure.
She deserves props for that. I'm just saying the push for the, challenging for the title, I still think is too soon. Personally, like I still think she needs to be built up more to be considered a legit contender.
So she uses the what do you call it? The spit thing? There's a word. The mist. So this is a thing throughout wrestling history, but she's gonna mist Sky Blue. She also misted Willow. I forgot which show that was on though. Was that on Rampage? I think. So she's been doing this to a lot of the top baby faces.
One of them.
Let's move along. That'll come back in a little while once we get to Dynamite. So a little bit of a promo from Brody King. And the house always wins is what Julia Hart always says, or the House of Black. So, okay. The Righteous, they won that 4-way on Rampage to win a match against MJF and Adam Cole, which is interesting. We're going to see that come up later. We'll talk about it when we reach Dynamite. But they had a spooky video here, very philosophically spooky or whatever. I don't really know what they said. But they're getting ready for the match against MJF. Bullet Club Gold. We'll talk about the Righteous later, Vlad. Let's put a hold.
Yeah.
Let's put a hold on that because we'll get to Dynamite. Jay White is facing off against Andrade El Idolo. So this is a superstar dream matchup, right, Robert? It's a pretty strong matchup for the night.
Oh, I mean, I like Jay White. I don't know if I would say this is a dream match against Andrade El Idolo.
Dude, Andrade is a strong character, man.
He is.
I mean,
I agree.
He just beat Malachi Black? Or who did he fight in that ladder match against Buddy Matthews, right?
Yeah. Buddy Matthews. He beat Buddy, right?
Yeah, that was a strong match. Okay, the angle for the mask was a little screwy or dopey, but whatever. So this is one of the best things they came up with for the night. Kind of a long match. A hard fought match. Let's see what highlights I got pinpointed here. This is a this is the Bullet Club Gold just messing with Andrade outside the ring. Juice Robinson just
dancing in front of him.
Yeah, I love the crew. The crew is really good, especially Juice. The guns are cool, but let's see what we got. Let's see what we got next. So here's one of them. Here's one of them flips. We got to point out when someone risks their lives to entertain the audience. Nice flip. And then there was another double flip from the top rope. So these are some impressive moves that Tony Khan is probably like, yes. But this is the ending of the match. So Andrade had the figure 8, and the referee's distracted with the guns, and Juice comes in and hits him with, I don't even know what that was. It looked like an iPad or something. So Jay White wins. For a guy that they're trying to make look pretty strong, I don't know about him cheating to beat Andrade. Cheating real bad to beat Andrade. I don't know. So he's going to enter into a very marquee feud after this, as we'll see on Dynamite with MJF. But I don't know about them making him look that good here. What do you think, Robert? Any thoughts about this match?
It's just, heels usually cheat anyways, so I'm not really surprised. I'm not really bothered by it, honestly.
Okay, Vlad.
Yeah. But that's just because, in the history of the wrestling business, the heels tend to cheat almost every match.
Yeah.
Sure, that's true. Okay, so you're cool with it, Vlad? You're cool with this booking for this match?
Just as far as this match goes, yeah, I'm fine with it. It was a competitive match. I think it's fair. It's fine.
Okay. All right, well, let's move along. We got Santana and Ortiz are going to enter into a feud. They were tag team partners for many years. God, this video with Ortiz explaining their feud is... I don't know if it's worse than the Claudio and Eddie Kingston thing. But it's almost equal. Because you remember anything he said here? You used me, you didn't call me back, after all. So, okay, they're going to have a thing.
We have a thing, but we don't know who to root for, who's right, who's wrong, what happened, what exactly are they fighting about, like where did their relationship go wrong. I kind of want to say that I'm more with Santana, but I don't really know 100% if I am or not. Based on the information I was given.
I don't really understand anything about why they're feuding, but I think Santana just wanted to be on his own and move on. So Ortiz is a little butthurt about that. Robert, you got any thoughts on Santana and Ortiz?
No, I actually completely forgot about that segment. Maybe I must have missed it because I don't remember it at all. So, yeah,
it's all right.
You didn't miss much. Don't worry about it.
It's all good.
It's more than all good. It's all right.
It's a jam-packed show, man. Shane Taylor Promotions is out back with Lee Moriarty. I don't know. I guess this is skippable, right? Vote, skip.
Yeah.
Skip. For God's sakes.
Yeah. This is a little extra. This should be in Ring of Honor, I think. But okay. Aussie Open come out. They're in suits because they're going to be on commentary for FTR's match against the Workhorsemen, JD Drake and the other guy's name. I'm sick today, bro. My memory's not working.
I don't know the other guy's name.
I would know his name if I was sick or not sick, if I was sober or not sober, if I was asleep or if I was awake. I wouldn't know this guy's name.
Yeah, I don't know their names. Huh?
If you put 10 guys in front of me and said, what is this guy's name, I would be able to tell you which one is his partner's name or what his name is even.
So this was the match that was very important because the winner of this match... Sorry, my mistake. FTR will face off against Aussie Open no matter what at WrestleDream. But if they lost this match, it would have been a non-title match. So they had to come through.
That made no sense. Wouldn't Aussie Open rather fight for the titles? That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Like, we'll still face FTR. Okay, why? They're not the champions anymore in that case. Why the hell would you still want to fight them?
Yeah, you should want to fight the Workhorsemen after that.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's stupid.
So this ends with a sharpshooter, Dax Harwood, with another masturbatory Bret Hart tribute or whatever. Oh no, they're gonna come out to the ring, Aussie Open. They're gonna cut a promo on them, so this is gonna be a serious, good match. This is okay. I'm looking forward to this match. I'm always looking forward to seeing these two face off for a title. That's not bad.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm okay with Aussie Open. I know Cornette kind of, I wouldn't say shits on them a bit, kind of calls them like a mid-card type of team more than like a real elite tag team. Maybe he's right in the way they've been booked, but I think they're good talents, and I think if they're booked better, if they're booked better, they could have a really good match with FTR, who are the best tag team in the world by far. That's not even a question. So if you're going to try to get these guys over, why not put them with the best tag team, right?
Right.
WrestleDream is this Sunday, right? In 2 days? Couple days? Okay.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Damn. All right, let's move along.
Damn is right.
CJ Perry, Lana, she's got a little segment here with Miro, and they agreed to go their separate ways kind of here in AEW, and CJ Perry's going to go off and manage other people is what she says. And she's hoping that Miro doesn't interfere with that. So, I don't know what's the deal with this. Any thoughts?
How dare she manages other people? She shouldn't. No kidding.
How dare she distract Miro from his goal of being the Redeemer and redeeming the rest of this roster, distracting him from his fight with God, and he's already beaten God, and now he has to deal with his double-jointed, beautiful wife back with amongst other men. Ugh.
Well, he did make a good point about him having to save her, possibly. Like, she's going to be just a vulnerable thing that he has to save at some point. And she goes, "Do I look vulnerable to you?" And he goes, "Not right now." But so I thought that was a little funny. I like this whole thing. I think it's good.
I won't say I like it, but compared to all the other things going on, this is fine. This is fine, bro. Let's just go with it. And plus, we get to look at CJ Perry a bit.
No complaints here.
I'm not going to complain about that.
I think it could go somewhere. We'll see if it goes anywhere, but I think it could.
Depends
like you said, it
manages.
Yeah, or if she's like getting like about to get beat in the ring, and someone's threatening to hit her, and Miro has to come out and save her, and it'll be a hug it out moment. AEW fans love.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You would think that eventually they would, right? Work like they'll be together again on the show type of thing. I'm guessing that's where it's going.
So the main event, this was maybe the one thing worth watching that Vlad would agree with that. Yeah. So Ricky Starks, absolute Ricky Starks, is facing off against Bryan Danielson, the American Dragon, very highly rated by Robert in his top 10 wrestlers of the year. So of course he's fantastic. His work looks good, looks stiff. He's one of the top guys. Hard-fought match, so let's go through some highlights. I bookmarked a couple things. But trash can, they fought into the crowd. Okay, main event. It's a last man standing, hardcore match. Huge grudge feud. So this is okay. I don't mind them fighting into the crowds for this. Ricky Starks paying some dues, taking some strong kicks all over the place, taking some damage. Throws his body into the audience there. So that
was really cool. That was crazy.
Okay.
Yeah, crazy cool and a crazy move from Starks. Don't expect that from him.
So they try to choke each other out with this chain. Is kind of the ending of this match, and she does choke out Danielson into unconsciousness, but he still got up from the 10 count. Tries it again. This was a good spot right here when he's like choking him out and he does this reverse off the top rope. That was really dope. Can't say nothing bad about this match, really. I think it was all good. What else? So this is where Ricky Starks gets choked out, and then I think he's gonna get hit with the psycho knee. What is it called? The Bizyko knee? Is that what it is?
I have no idea.
This is the ending of the match. Oh, with the chain around his knee. I remember now.
Sure.
So he's gonna take off and beat Ricky Starks. This was the booking for this, Vlad. The ending of the feud, and Danielson goes over.
Yeah, I guess that's my. I think you're trying to lead me into saying right that this doesn't really look great for Starks. He lost that other match. He lost the strap match, and now he lost this match. I mean, shouldn't he have won one of these matches?
Isn't he supposed to be like this next superstar for AEW since Punk is gone? I think he should have won this.
He should have won this one. He should have won this one. If he was going to lose the strap match, he should have won this match, or maybe win the strap match and lose this one. But he should have won one of them.
Yeah.
Where he doesn't lose complete faith in the sense of like.
So we're gonna see in the next episode of Dynamite that he's gonna try to still somehow put himself over, but at some point it starts to get difficult when you're just taking L's. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, and then there was a post-match angle at the end where Wheeler Yuta comes in, and I think there's a shoving match. This is going to lead to a continuation of something happening on Dynamite with Wheeler Yuta and Ricky Starks. So that's the end of this episode. Man, there was a lot. I don't know how many minutes we took to do that, but jam-packed show. A lot of it not that good, Vlad says. But let's hear some grades. We need some grades for AEW Collision. Let's hear some thoughts. Are we going to keep doing Collision? I like it. I don't think it's that bad. I think it's on a Saturday, so the ratings kind of suffer because of that. But
Sure.
All right, let's hear your grade for this Collision. It was September 23rd, 2023.
You want me to go first, right?
Yeah, you go first, bud.
You know what? I don't. It's hard to say. I think the main event, the Texas Deathmatch, was pretty good, despite me not agreeing with the winner. The rest of the show was just whatever. You know, there wasn't a lot there that I could say that it was really
Christian,
enjoyable or
Darby.
good. Yeah.
Jay White and Andrade.
Yeah. Okay, I'll say it was I'll say it's a C. I'll say it's a C.
Yeah, same here. I'll go with C also.
Yeah.
The main event was the best match. I liked the Darby, Allin, Christian Cage, Luchasaurus one too. But in both of those matches, I was surprised by the booking. But you know, the matches themselves were good. The Jay White and Andrade match was just okay. That was decent. So I'll give it a C also.
Me too. A C is just basically, it means it wasn't horrible, but it wasn't really that great. So, okay.
Right.
Which is kind of bad, because they had a freaking Texas death match, or last man standing match, and, you know, you would hope that there would have been some heat from the fans for that one, but I think the crowd enjoyed it, but I don't know. I don't know what to think about Starks going forward now. Let's move on, though.
Well, yeah, because the thing is,
sorry,
with Danielson, sorry, real quick. With Danielson, he has this fight with what, that Zack Sabre, right, guy? Is that his name?
Zack Sabre Jr.
Zack Sabre Jr. And I think they didn't want him to lose here, so then he would, you know, how
that's a dream match.
But I don't give a shit about Zack Sabre Jr. I care about Ricky Starks. I want Starks to get over here because Zack Sabre Jr. is not even in AEW. So, I mean, we've lost the point. We've lost the thread here in this whole thing. So I understand that they didn't want Danielson to look a little weak before this pay-per-view match, but they could have done something else. They could have had like a screwy finish where nobody wins somehow, or both guys are knocked out or something. I don't know. I don't know. I don't agree with having Starks lose twice. I guess that's the main thing, because where does he go from here? I know where he goes. He has to fight Wheeler Yuta. I mean, fuck. That's all I have to say to that.
Yeah, they ruined it.
Going.
They ruined it. Oh, God.
Yeah, they ruined him. In 3 weeks, they ruined him, man.
Well, hopefully that'll be a win at least. But the thing about the thing about Tony Khan booking guys from Japan against some of his bigger stars, I think the way he looks at it is that, imagine if it was back in the days and it was WCW and WWF and guys were like going back and forth. I think in Tony Khan's head, it's kind of like that. Even though they have a relationship and it's not like that, I think he looks at it like, oh my God, this guy from New Japan's coming and this guy from AEW, and it's going to be a dream match. But, you know, the fact that they have a relationship and they're working together kind of kills it. So if they were really like two companies that really didn't like each other and were competition, and they decided to work with each other one time, like everyone talks about dream WCW, WWF scenarios from back in the days, if they had like cross promotional stuff. I've seen a lot of videos where people create their own, like, you know, dream cards or whatever. So I think that's what Tony Khan's like kind of entertaining himself with. But I'm with you. If you're, you know, I think if they have to push you on the AEW show for the people to really care, because how many people really watch New Japan? Like, I'm curious. How many Americans? How many Americans? Like, I'm curious how many Americans have like the subscription actually follow week to week. I'm gonna look this up.
I used to watch them, but it's been a while. Ever since AEW started, I followed New Japan less and less, and now I don't even really watch them anymore.
Sure, makes sense.
I don't know. Seen one strong style match, seen them all, in my opinion, kind of. But okay, sometimes there are some matches that steal the show away. But I'm a fan of Will Ospreay. I think he's great. But moving along. Let's get to Dynamite 9/27, September 27, 2023. So this was the week after Grand Slam, after the high of being at Flushing Meadows at the Arthur Ashe Arena. So this episode they got Rey Fenix. This international title is like a thing, man. They really got to have one defense on it on every episode. It's like the way the TV title is like supposed to be, but you know.
I just have to laugh that after this guy nearly paralyzed one of their top wrestlers twice, he pretty much does the same move to start the show. He does the same thing that basically concussed Moxley, according to Moxley. Came off the top rope. Okay, I don't even want to begin, because if I start ranting about Rey Fenix being a complete goddamn moron, I probably won't stop. So continue, Ken. I'm sorry.
Well, I was very surprised at the booking here that the challenger was Jeff Jarrett, so I was very invested in this match. Very happy that he had a title shot. A part of me thought he could win because he came close a couple times. I'm not going to go through.
No, you didn't.
I did, dude.
Really?
When he took the pinfall, I was so sad. I was like, oh, man, they had chances. His help here, okay, I'll go over some of the match. His help was really stupid. But, so this was a part where Sanjay distracted Aubrey and low blow, and he's going to hit him or he's going to try to small package, and he kicks out. So I thought right there that could be one spot where he could win. He puts him in the stroke, too. Good-looking stroke. Kicks out here. I was like, damn, this is it, but it took a little too long. Oh, no, he got his foot on the rope. Well, let's get to the ending. I think the ending is, what's his name? Tried to interfere. It's a roll-up. But there was the tall guy. What's the tall guy's name? Satnam Singh. He tried to interfere, and he didn't help at all. I don't have it bookmarked, but he was so stupid. If he had a little better help, he could have won this match. Okay, I was invested in this show up till 12 minutes because my boy Jeff Jarrett was in it. But he lost, so I'm going to move on. I don't think you guys really care about this international title. Although one thing I will say about Rey Fenix winning the title and Jon Moxley giving it away to him on his own accord, we talked about it a little bit last week. But I didn't really mention how it really sucked that Orange Cassidy wasn't going to be able to beat Moxley for the return match, because that's what they were teasing, that he had to try to beat Moxley, and that was going to be like the thing that really made him. So that was the plan, I think. The plan was for it to go back to Orange Cassidy, and now it's like ruined. It's fucking awful.
I'm not sad about that, but okay.
Not even a little bit.
Well, it does suck when someone tries to like do a long-term storyline and then it just gets screwed up, you know? They really tried for this angle. But as we'll see later, Orange Cassidy will be back in the international title scene. But let me move along. Let's see what else we had on this show. Oh, this scene. Okay, so MJF and Adam Cole are out boating. They're on a boat. And sort of having a nice time, but I think what happens here is that MJF asks Adam Cole if he could get him a beer, but he looks like he's going to nail him in the head with the Dynamite Diamond Ring, and Adam Cole's like, are you going to nail me in the head with the Dynamite Diamond Ring? Very weird friendship. It's always on edge. Like, it's very precarious is the word. Precarious friendship. But okay. And then the ending of this scene was Paul White being in the pool or in the lake or wherever they are, and they bring him on to have a beer on the boat. So really, really silly for the world champion. We've been through many of these comedy scenes in the past, Vlad. So we're going to be a little bit repetitive here, repeating ourselves. But this is not good, right?
I won't say much. I've said it before. It's not good. It's too much. It's too much funny, too much comedy, too much ha-ha when you're a world champion involved. And I understand that the Cole MJF dynamic is working for them, but there's a limit. You know, there's a way they could do that and still be serious and not have these comedic situations. I don't know why MJF is going along with this. Maybe he's just trying to be a team player. I don't know.
He's done it in the past with Jericho. He did that like dance routine and stuff, and he sings sometimes. Yeah. I mean, he's
sure, but I think But now I think he has more stroke. I would think he's the world champion. He's way more over than he was when he had to do that Jericho thing.
Robert, do you ignore these comedy scenes, or
So
are they
for
bothering you?
For that particular scene, I was okay with it up until the point where Paul White showed up. Then it got ridiculous. I'm like, come on. That's the point where it was like, all right, now you lost me.
Yeah,
I was fine with it up
that
until
probably put it over. I wouldn't say it was fine up until that point, but you're right. At that point, it just became too stupid for words.
too much.
Yeah, what the hell was he doing? Just hanging out over there. Okay, let's move along though.
Yeah, he was.
I
He
think.
was hanging out in the water. Yeah.
Okay, so Callis and Takeshita went to Japan to mess with Ibushi. They got on an airplane, went all the way there, found the gym he works at. Oh, Sammy's got some new kicks. Looks like some Scarface writing on his Titantron. Scarface colors, I guess. Looks pretty cool, I guess.
Yeah.
Not bad. But this was the part where they show the video where Takeshita beat up Ibushi, and they went all the way there just to fuck with him, and they're very proud of it. Some fake fighting, kind of. I don't know. It doesn't really look that good to me, but okay. This part was pretty funny though when Callis hit him with the umbrella. It's like, but in the end, they do put him down, and then Sammy says some stuff. They gloat. You know, he says that he's moved on from Jericho because Jericho never wanted to pass the torch, so I guess he took the torch. Okay. Anybody got any thoughts about this scene? I don't know. I don't know if this whole...
How many times can they show criminal activity, somebody breaking into somebody's house or
Good point.
studio, beating the shit out of them, leaving them laying? I mean, first they did it with Nick Wayne, where they left him a bloody mess. Ibushi, obviously, from what I've seen, is the absolute shit. But still, I don't think he deserves to get assaulted this way and have it videotaped.
Hey, if it has
But
to do
anyway,
with
that's my
wrestling,
thought.
it's legal. If it has to do with wrestling, it's legal.
This is something
Yeah, I get-
that's been going on for decades. Like I still remember the segment when it looked like Brian Pillman shot Stone Cold.
Yeah.
That was like crazy to me.
Yeah, but that was a low moment in the WWE. Even they felt later that they had to say something about it, because even they probably thought they went too far with it.
Now you want to talk about criminal, man? That was yikes.
That was
Yikes.
yes. That was not good. That was not good.
Yeah, but wrestlers have like a code between them that they don't go to the police for these type of things, you know? They get beat up often.
Yeah.
It's not
I
that
agree.
big a deal.
I agree, but I agree. It's not just AEW. WWE has done the same thing numerous times. How many times was like Triple H had that thing in Randy Orton's house, right? Or was it the other way around? Whoever broke into whoever's house and attacked them, and they've had. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead, Robbie.
Kayhan, how does that explain Dirty Dom getting arrested? Come on, man.
Oh, but that was his mom. It wasn't another wrestler. His mom called the cops on him.
Okay.
That was mean. That was messed up. All right, I gotta move on. Move on. Let's move on.
We gotta move
Okay,
on.
so
Thank God.
Here's the scene we were talking about with Starks trying to somehow put himself over despite all the losses. Still, he said, "I survived." I'm like, okay, that's good. He's very proud of himself that he survived the feud. Wheeler comes in. They set up the match for WrestleDream, another dream match. So, at least I think it'll be a Starks victory. But whatever. They got to fill out the card somehow. I'm not as big a hater as Wheeler Yuta as Vlad is, but okay. Let me move along unless anybody has anything to say.
I said my piece.
All right, so we got a four-way. These are weird matches. I'm not really going to go over them too much, but who's that? Matt Jackson, or is it Nick Jackson? He's going to win. He's going to win this four-way.
Balding Buck.
Yeah, it's with Brian Cage, Claudio. Oh, it's a three-way. I'm sorry. And what is it for again?
Three-way, yeah.
Do you guys remember why they're having this match?
Doesn't the winner face Ray Phoenix for the
international title? Okay.
Something like that.
Yeah.
All right. So this is the end of the match. A Hurricane Rana throws Claudio out of the ring, and Jackson picks up the victory. So he's pretty surprised about that. Very happy to have a singles win, but okay. So here's the Righteous. They're going to be facing off with MJF and Adam Cole, although if you've been following wrestling news, you might have heard that Adam Cole got injured at that Grand Slam match with MJF and Joe. He jumped off the fucking ramp like an idiot. I don't want to call anybody an idiot, but, you know, it was unfortunate.
He jumped off and messed up his, whatever, his knee, his leg, whatever.
It jumped off in a very bad way. It's pretty high up, you know, for a guy who gets injured a lot. You know, you're not supposed to jump from that high up like that, but okay. So the Righteous, I think they scrambled and chose the Righteous to face them because MJF could beat them in a handicap match. Because maybe they were originally going to go with Taven and Bennet to have a real match, but since they're going to try to prolong this until Adam Cole comes back, as we see he's on crutches here, comes out with MJF, and that's what he's going to say, basically. Adam Cole was going to relinquish the title, but they want to keep it. This is a storyline that they've been too invested in, so they can't let this go. Right, Robert? They got to keep this tag team title thing going.
I mean, it was really, really hot, and I think it still is. It's just unfortunate that Adam Cole got hurt. But I they should still keep it going.
Man, from what I hear of how he broke everything, I don't know how soon he's going to come back, because the way he described it, he destroyed everything in his ankle and his leg. I was like, what the fuck? Okay, hopefully it's not as bad as he describes it, and he could come back. Maybe just miss one match. So what do you think about this handicap match booking, Vlad? Very interesting, I think.
I don't know, bro. The Righteous, obviously. So back pay-per-views, instead of him fighting for his world title, he has to fight for this Ring of Honor tag team title, which is, I guess, I would say, the secondary tag team title.
No, it's not secondary. A title is important if you make it important. You could make the U.S. title important if you treat it seriously. So you could make any title.
So you think putting them in matches against the Dark Order and the Righteous has made this feel?
Yeah, it gives it some clout, because when people look back on it, like whenever they ended up losing their title eventually, people will remember in their back of their minds that MJF and Adam Cole were the tag team champions. So it means more now, yeah. Kind of like how the Impact title still sort of means something, because Sting and Kurt Angle had it. So you could say, hey, I'm holding something that Sting and Kurt Angle held. Not the same thing like it used to be, but it's still something. So yeah, it's better to give this title a rub than to not, you know? Plus it seems like they're going to use it a lot. They've been using Ring of Honor titles all over the place in AEW. So if you're going to use it, you got to give them something, you know? Give the fans something to make it feel important. So I'm with this. I hate when they fucking relinquish titles. I think this should be done more often. This is a badass move by MJF. Like, I'm going to go beat them 2-on-1. That's fucking cool. So, I'm with it, personally. Any thoughts, Robert, before we move on to Jay White coming in?
For the most part, I agree with you. I do want to say one other thing, though. Like, I feel like I see something in the Righteous. I feel like they...
Me too.
They have potential to become really over with the crowd.
Yeah.
Eventually. They're not right now, but I feel like there's something there where the fans will get behind them at some point, and they're going to be big.
I think that could happen.
I see that potential with them.
I think that could happen. Yeah, I agree with you.
As it stands right now, MJF should be able to handle them on his own.
Hopefully, maybe Adam Cole can help in a way, even if he's there on crutches. Like, he could help, because they've been cheaters, kind of. They've been babyface cheaters in a way. But all right, let me move on. Roddy comes in, and he needs Adam. He needs Adam. He needs it. It's an emergency. It's an emergency.
It's become the new excuse me.
Oh no, not even close. Not even close. This is actually funny.
It's on that level.
But so he needs Adam Cole's help, even though Adam Cole has like a broken leg. But okay, MJF is very mature here, and he tells Adam Cole that I'm gonna be there for you after you're done with your friend, right? So okay, yeah, I know, very emotional friendship type of stuff. It's almost like a relationship, you know what I mean? I don't know. Some people get a kick out of this, like they're in a little bit of a relationship, like as if it was a romantic relationship, but they're just bros. So I guess there's an inherent comedy about it, but I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm not.
I don't understand. I mean, look at this group. He comes, he comes out of the. I mean, are they trying to make Adam Cole seem that he's just a moron, that he's buying this, or what? Like, obviously, this guy doesn't have a fucking neck injury. He's been complaining about his neck. He's dressed in a fucking hospital nightgown, and I don't have the words for this. It's too stupid. It's too stupid. I know it's supposed to be funny, more of that ha-ha stuff, but it's just too much, bro. It just makes everybody look like a goddamn buffoon, I think is my point. And I'll leave it at that.
We're looking past a lot of stuff here to try to get the good stuff of this angle. I agree with you. I say we're looking past something. We're looking past a lot of the silliness. Sorry, we're looking past a lot of the silliness here to just kind of.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, we're trying to enjoy this wrestling, but some of it's a little silly. But okay, I don't hate it. I don't hate it that much. This type of silliness, right, I don't hate, because at least it is amusing to me. More power to you guys. Silliness would be worse if it wasn't even amusing at all. And these type of segments are hard to summarize for me, especially when I do those like 1 minute long clips or the shorts for Instagram or whatever. It's like, dude, these guys talk to each other for so long. Jay White and MJF, it's pretty epic. I mean, he's had multiple ones of these with CM Punk, Samoa Joe, and countless others that are slipping my mind right now. But these bagging contests and these promo contests with MJF are legendary. They're epic, but they're really long. There's a lot of stuff here, a lot of stuff they write, a lot of stuff said here. So it's very hard to summarize. You must be excited for this, Robert. This is your guy, Jay White.
Okay, so there's very few times when I watch a wrestling show and I completely mark out. Like, for example, the one time I remember telling you I was marking out was when Naito showed up, because he was my favorite wrestler in New Japan, right? I remember marking out for that moment and I telling you about it. And this caught me by surprise. I did not see this coming. I remember a couple of weeks ago when we were discussing, CM Punk being let go. I told you, I mentioned that one of the reasons why it was very disappointing for me was that we're going to miss out on a lot of potentially big feuds. And one of the ones I mentioned was CM Punk versus Jay White. I was really looking forward to that. Now that he's gone, I think this is a very suitable replacement for that feud. But I just didn't know this was going to happen, at this point. I thought maybe somewhere later on down the line these two would clash. But the moment I heard the Bullet Club theme song, I'm like, what? I was really surprised by that. And yeah, their feud was really, really cool. MJF mentioned, that he was getting compared to a lot of wrestlers, and then at some point, the goalpost kept getting moved to bigger names, and eventually he was compared to Jay White. And then he called Jay White tofu.
Oh yeah, that was the big thing, tofu.
Whoa, tofu! We got a tofu chant from the crowd. And what else? They chanted some other stuff. Jay White's responses to MJF were pretty good too. So
yeah, not bad.
This was pretty good. I was marking. I was giddy this whole segment. Like, oh my god, I can't believe this is happening. But hell yeah, I don't. They do fight pretty soon, which I think they will happen. I still think MJF should win and keep the title. I don't think Jay White should take it away from him just yet. But yeah, I'm just glad that this feud is even happening.
I like this feud too. This is a nice idea. Mm-hmm. Vlad, you got any thoughts on this promo battle? Was it up there, or it wasn't one of the best ones to me? I think the Punk ones and the Joe one was better, but
yeah, they were better. I'm not as high as you guys are, or especially as Robert is on Jay White. I think he's a good talent. I don't think he's that great on the mic, and they let him kind of go a little too long, and I don't think that's where his strengths are. I think he's a good worker. I think that's where his strengths are. And he can really work. On the mic, he's, I would say he's he's mid.
I wouldn't say he's mid. He's got a funny accent. You know, he speaks clearly. I think he's pretty good. I mean, and
mid as in he's just okay. I wouldn't say he's great, but I think he's an okay talent. I think I would have continued more of the Samoa Joe thing than go into this. To be honest, I would be more into that. I think they rushed that for some reason way too fast. They could have gotten a couple more matches out of Samoa Joe and MJF instead of going straight to Jay White. They could have eventually gone to Jay White, and I would have been okay with it. And I'm okay with it now. I'm a bigger fan of Samoa Joe. I think is a hell of a talent and a guy I'd rather see in this spot. So that's just my only criticism.
All right, well, let's put a pin on that. We're going to come back later on the show. We'll discuss it more a tiny bit at the end. But let's move on from this. This was very long. I count 9 minutes here of them talking. So, and then at the end, it ends with Jay White powdering out to babyface MJF. So, yeah, and people fear MJF. This was a good backstage interview with Jim Ross and Darby and Christian. I thought this went really well. This was intense. There was a lot of just really deep cutting stuff in this, and Darby just really went at him about the thing about it he does where he makes fun of people's dead relatives, and he took it on straight on, and he was like, fuck, I don't give a fuck about dying, not afraid of dying. So this is going to happen at WrestleDream on Sunday. This should be a good match. This is the one I'm looking forward to the most on that card.
I agree.
If I were to watch one match.
Should be good.
Any thoughts before I move on?
I think it was great. I think though, Christian continuously going after dead people is pretty. I don't know. It's kind of low. This time he said, "Is your uncle going to be in attendance?" That's pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
That's pretty messed up. I don't know. And then he said,
certainly in bad taste.
Tell him, what's his name? What was Nick? What the heck is his last name? Nick Wayne. To bring his mom or something. I mean, dude, Jesus Christ, he's going after everybody, man. People's moms.
He's getting that heel heat.
I agree, and I'm for it. But there's a limit to continuously saying the same thing over and over again. Like, I think I get it at this point. Like, I get that he's trying to get that, but at some point it becomes kind of cheap heat because you're constantly going for the same thing, But I'm a big fan of Christian, and I think I agree with you that this will be the best match of the night. I expect it to be the best match of the night. All
right, Robert, did you have any thoughts?
Yeah, I'm looking. There's a YouTube video of someone like edited, all the moments where Christian Cage said your father is dead, and then into a song. Yeah. You already saw it. I was gonna forward you the YouTube video, but I guess if you already know about it, then
I did bump into it.
Huh? Oh, you did?
I bumped into it. Yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty hilarious.
Okay, Robert thinks it's hilarious, but
in a way, it is hilarious. But
God,
I guess it's
someone actually took the time to edit everything and make it. But okay, this was cool. This segment was cool, and I'm looking forward to this match also. I mean, not much more I could add about that. So, looking forward to this match in WrestleDream.
All right, let's see what else. Let's run through the rest of the show real quick. Kayhan is getting tired. Okay, another four-way. Another four-way. This was Orange Cassidy, Austin Gunn, Matt Jackson, sorry, and Penta, which ends up getting victory by Orange Cassidy with the Orange Punch. So he might get his international title back, but not off of Moxley like originally planned. So, okay, moving along. I know you guys don't really want to talk about OC. Another Julia Hart match. This time she's facing off against Willow, who I guess she misted. And Willow's eye is all messed up from the mist. And Julia Hart's laughing about it. It's sadistic. She's got a sadistic streak. And this was the ending. Somehow they figured, this was a pretty good moonsault. You want to see Julia Hart moonsault? I think I'll give this 5 stars out of 5. Woo! Woo! There you go. Not bad. The crowd was really hot for that too. Crowd went nuts. Crowd went ape shit. What happened? Was there an afterbirth here? Yes, she did. She put her in her.
Yes. And I
Put her
think
in her finishing
Statlander
move.
came out, right?
Yeah, Statlander made the save, so then Julia Hart powders out. So I'm looking forward to this match. She hides behind Brody King, which is pretty good. Put her over. Put Julia Hart over. So we're gonna get that in.
I doubt that's gonna happen, but I get what you're saying.
Let's see what else we got. Oh, this was the last thing on the show. It was Swerve and Hangman Page doing a long discussion at a contract signing, WWE style contract signing. Very, very long one, long-winded. Page has got problems. He knows it. He admits some of it. And in the end, I think Swerve slaps him. And while he's signing the contract, Hangman Page is gonna stab him in the hand. So then the security guards kind of pulled them apart. So I think that was the big spot that they planned to make us watch this whole 10-minute scene for that one little spot that was kind of cool. So I don't mind this. Not my favorite thing, but okay. I don't think you guys really want to talk about that though. If not,
I just had one point to make. Couple of weeks ago when we were reviewing the first segment of Swerve confronting Hangman Adam Page, I remember I told you guys the stuff that Swerve was telling Hangman Adam Page reminded me of a segment a few years back when he was sitting at a table with Kenny Omega, and now he's sitting at a table with Swerve. I thought I just had to point that out. Like, hey, they're doing the same exact thing that I recalled when Swerve initially confronted Hangman Adam Page. One other thing, I thought Hangman was pretty good. His promo, he I can't remember the exact stuff that he was saying, but like he was basically saying like, actually, I have to thank you for bringing me back to realizing what's important, and now you're gonna get the best of me. I thought he actually did pretty good in this segment, personally.
Do you agree with Swerve at all that he might have gotten benefits from being friends with the Young Bucks?
Well,
had it easy.
Did I agree with him? I mean, a lot of people, including myself, thought that for a long time. So yeah, of course.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Vlad's nodding his head in agreement. Okay.
But I have no comments to say about this because I care nothing about this.
All right. Let's conclude the show. One last segment was at the very last 30 seconds of the show was masked men beating up somebody that we eventually see as Jay White. I love when it's masked men, masked mystery men, but they did reveal it pretty quick. So right away you see it's MJF in the devil mask. So he's being heel here. He's got his dark side. Very interesting character, MJF. Very interesting.
I don't think it's MJF. What makes you think it's MJF? Just because he's wearing the mask, it's
I don't
probably
think
somebody
MJF.
else.
What the fuck?
MJF, just because
it's someone trying to make it look like MJF at the time.
Yeah, somebody that exactly what Robert said. It's somebody that's making it seem like it's MJF because it's 4 guys there, so it's like it could be a number of people. Honestly, I guess it could be the Kingdom, I guess, and what's his name, Roddy, possibly, maybe. Who else could it be? It could be. Well, I guess that's really it. I guess that's the only potential could be, honestly.
That's a strong possibility. Can't think of any other potential suspects, but I definitely don't think that's MJF.
Yeah.
Interesting. I didn't get that thought at all for me, like you guys did. I thought it was MJF. I was like, yep, he's pulling out all the stops because Jay White is a serious business. He's gotta get serious here.
If it was MJF, I don't think he would have.
They would have just showed it. They would have just
showed his face. Like he wouldn't need to wear the mask. So the fact that they're hiding their faces, that made me think like that's not him, somebody else. But we'll see.
Oh man, that was a juicy tidbit at the end though. Like old school WCW style, last second
Yeah, I kind of liked it. It was good. That was probably, I don't know where it goes, but where it's actually all leading to. But as far as that 30 seconds was kind of interesting.
All right then. So that was Dynamite. Let's get your grades on this one. Man, I can't even remember. I think Collision had some better matches. I can't remember anything really strong on this show match-wise. They had that MJF Jay White promo that was pretty epic and historical. I don't know. I think I'll give this one a worse grade than Collision.
Yeah.
Maybe like a C-.
Yeah.
And only the MJF thing saving it.
That sounds about right.
I believe it or not, that's actually where I'm headed as well. C- is probably on where. Yeah, C- is about right.
All right then. So what's the deal? We're gonna keep doing this? AEW reviews, are they still fun for you? Are these? I mean, some shows are better than others. Like the Dynamite Grand Slam was kind of nice. That was pretty fun. This one was not as much. We were really trying to dig for stuff to enjoy here, but what do you think? Collision and Dynamite still? You think it's worth it to do Collision? As of right now, I think it is. If it really falls off a cliff, then okay. But
I agree. As long as it has like Starks and Danielson and a couple other FTR, I guess it is worth covering. Yeah. So I guess if you're asking, should we continue? Yeah, I mean, it's a wrestling thing, and it's fun to talk about AEW because you never know what the hell is going to happen on AEW, bro. They're so out of control that anything could happen at any point. So I guess you might as well keep doing it.
all right, well, listen, thank you guys for coming on. We got through this show. This was kind of tough for me. I feel okay. Once I hit record, it wasn't so bad. But I was kind of... it did cross my mind to cancel the show. But no, we can't do that. The Malapert smarks out there need our commentary.
They need it. They
So
need it.
we show up.
They need.
I show up.
Well, they need. Yeah.
I'll show up no matter my condition. Okay. I think it didn't turn out so bad though. I was fumbling around a bit with certain names, but the last thing
I do that all the time.
you and Conan. So the last thing, I guess we could go over SmackDown and Raw real quick because Robert didn't see it. Do you want me to? I'm going to just give a couple of things that happened.
Yeah, a couple quick tidbits if Robert doesn't mind.
Yeah, I don't mind.
Because he didn't see it, so I might as well fill him in a little bit. So SmackDown from September 22nd. Here's something that I clipped was Io Sky versus Asuka for the women's title.
Right.
And Charlotte and Bayley went at it outside, and that was enough of a distraction for Asuka, and she ends up getting beat by Io Sky. But that was a pretty decent matchup. Compared to everything else on SmackDown, this was pretty good. So
if I had known that they were going to have a match, I probably would have watched it. I'd be interested in watching.
Yeah. No, I totally skipped all of it. I just skipped to the end. But Io Sky keeps the title. Let me see what else. There's some Bloodline stuff.
It was okay. It was fun.
Yeah, it was okay. I agree with Vlad. It was not great. It was not bad, but it wasn't like epic or anything. There was distraction to the finish. The storyline with the Bloodline. If I could explain this, which me and Vlad have lambasted recently, but Jimmy Uso apparently is back in the Bloodline, unless it's a swerve, which I don't get that. So they've been feuding with John Cena and AJ Styles. So they try to make a tag team match with Cena and Styles for the pay-per-view. And Paul Heyman's like, no, Roman has to approve that. And Jimmy's like, all right, we'll ask him, And this whole thing just makes no sense that Jimmy's hanging out with them again. So Cena shows up to do the contract signing. They're going to have a match at, what is their next pay-per-view called? Fastlane? Tag team match. Him and AJ Styles, good pairing. But AJ, his music hits and he doesn't show up because he got attacked backstage by Jimmy Uso. So he gets taken to the hospital.
Jimmy, you didn't show the funny when Solo did the flying thing and nobody saw it actually where he landed. I thought that was actually pretty hilarious. Yeah, it is.
That's funny.
It was pretty ridiculous.
I missed that too. He flies. I don't know what is he flying off of. That's a bunch of speakers or something.
it's supposed to be AJ there, but we don't see nothing, and he just
Yeah.
slides down.
Well, it was probably just a bunch of pillows, man. Shit.
It was just a bunch of just some fluffy pillows.
Yeah. So that's that. I guess that's the feud they're building. See, Roman's not around though, so Jimmy Uso and Solo are just handling this as best they can with Heyman around. As I said, AJ Styles got carted off, so I don't know if that match is going to happen. I don't know. I didn't really pay too close attention. But Cena comes out at the end to kind of have a little brouhaha with Solo and Jimmy, and I think they best him. They leave him laying.
Yes.
So
that's the way they show him.
That's the way SmackDown ended.
But what I heard is that LA Knight is supposed to be the replacement partner, and that's supposed to be going with this whole thing. But I guess he got COVID right on this specific show, so they couldn't bring him out for this segment. And they're hopeful that he will be. They're hopeful that LA Knight will be ready to go by Fastlane, as they expect him to be. Come in and save the day for Cena.
Well, when is Fastlane? I don't know. I haven't
tomorrow.
I think it's next.
Next Saturday.
Next Saturday. Saturday. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Last thing, we'll just run through Raw. You know, I was telling Robert earlier, Vlad, before you got connected to us, that the problem with going through WWE shows is that, man, they're so convoluted. Like the storyline angles are not good. They're not important, but they're very complicated to explain. You know, and that's that's the difficulty of it. Like, I wish it was simpler so that I could just run through it. Well, I'll do it as best as I can here. So Cody,
you did pretty good with SmackDown. I think you covered the most important tidbits.
Most of the other shit was bullshit, but so Cody comes out here at Open Raw again, and he's talking about Jey Uso. He's glad that he didn't join the Judgment Day last week. So, and then the Judgment Day come out. They set up a match or something, Vlad? I honestly don't remember. They must have.
Probably. What else are they going to do, bro?
I don't know. No, but the main event of the show turns out being that tag team title match. It was
yes, that's right.
The Judgment Day against Sammy and KO.
That's right. So, they can't set up a match, right? Because they already have a tag team title match for the main event. That's right.
But it's just a continual distraction. It's the Cody Rhodes watch. He's supposed to be fighting for the title, but continuously distracted by him.
Well, the one thing you may have missed is that Cody kind of mentioned that somebody's supposed to be traded to SmackDown, and I think he's hinting that he's going to be the one traded to SmackDown because Jey Uso went to Raw.
Oh, really?
That could set up a thing.
I didn't catch that. I did catch that he said that, but I didn't catch that. That's interesting, Vlad. Very astute.
I think he hinted at himself that he will be the one going to SmackDown.
Okay.
I didn't catch anything.
Well, yes, you didn't watch it. We get it. But yes, that did happen. And I think I wouldn't be surprised if Cody sometime soon might be going to SmackDown so he could continue his thing with Roman at some point.
That would be nice. I would be all for that, man, for things to come full circle. Let me see what else I could...
And I think it has to happen.
Thank goodness. Thank goodness they're not as horrible as we thought. So hopefully, I'll keep my fingers crossed. We'll see. I'll believe it when I see it. So this was that Dominic Mysterio Dragon Lee match for the North American title that was lauded, critically acclaimed. If you want to watch a good wrestling match, a la Rey Mysterio versus Psychosis back in the days. I don't have many hit clips from it, many highlights, but it was a really good match. And then Dominic ended up winning with the frog splash. So it's good to give Dominic a win.
Yeah, he won it clean, and he did it without Rhea, who's been out and stuff. So he won this by himself.
What happened with Rhea?
She got squashed by Nia Jax.
So she's legit injured then. Okay.
I think so, because how could you not be after that?
I think she is legit injured, and they're covering it up as a work. I think that big bitch did something to her.
Well, that's not with the name. That's not with the name calling, all right. But yes, she is pretty big, and she landed right on her. Pretty bad. I would have broke my ribs. I'll tell you that. So.
No, but it was actually confirmed that she got injured, or it never.
No, well, they're using it as an angle on the storyline, but I'm just saying from the way it looked, it must have been real. But okay, so Dom gets a win.
Yeah.
Without her. Nice. Okay. Good. Finally, something to make them look good. Let me see what else. Oh, so here's Nia Jax. She says she's gonna.
Speaking of,
she's gonna squish everybody. Okay.
Yep. She did say that. She did say that.
That's kind of weird. Are they gonna keep using
she said it?
that move?
Wait, she said it?
Yeah, she's gonna squash or squish. I forgot exactly which one, but yes, that's basically her point. She had a match, but I'm skipping that. So this was the tag team title match. Rematch.
We already moved to the main event. You see how quick Kayhan moves on WWE?
Dude, most of the stuff is filler, man. Like, most of these matches aren't worth mentioning. Really.
There was literally another 2 hours that Kayhan just skipped right through.
Oh god, it was worthless. It was worthless. But
yeah, I kind of agree with him.
Yeah, man, we don't have all day here.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
exactly.
JD McDonough, when the ref wasn't looking. I don't know if you caught that, Robert. Hit Sami Zayn with the belt and saved the titles for Judgment Day. So the one thing they were mentioning on the show pretty often was that Dominic had his match for his title, and these guys had their match for their title. So people were saying, oh, you guys are going to leave championship-less, and Rhea's going to come back and tear you to shreds. So they were trying to hold on to what they had, and they did at the end of the night. So they're still the champions. Anything happen at the end of the show?
The one thing you kind of was like, there was a big brawl before with everything that was going on, and then Cody came in and Dominic came in, and then it was kind of crazy, but then McDonough snuck in with the title as you showed Robert. But I thought this was kind of a good ending to the match, and I agree with, if you're going to try to get these Judgment Day, I mean, they're already over, but like even more over, this nice win for them.
All right. Well, that's it. I think I survived the show. Thank God, man.
You did it, man. You did it.
It's important to me to do one every week, man. I don't know why. Like, there's no one really. It's not like a homework assignment or a work assignment that's like due, but I just feel some kind of responsibility to myself, you know. But thank you guys for coming on. I wasn't sure how today's show would go because it was a mostly AEW heavy show. A little bit of that pro wrestling top 500 talk was kind of interesting. I'm happy we got through it, man. Good job, guys. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
I appreciate you guys.
Have a good night.
All right, guys.
Well, all right.
Until next week. Yeah, I'm gonna say goodbye, guys, because I'm going to sleep. I gotta get some rest. Try to kick this cold.
Oh yeah. Get some rest, bro.
Go to sleep.
All right, dude.
Feel better, bro.
All right. Till next week. Hopefully, you guys can